representatives. The Senate leader, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, Ekiti Central, stated this on the floor of the Red Chamber in Abuja. Senator Bamidele Okoyemi stressed that while legislative cooperation is guided by the principle of chamber reciprocity, this does not equate to automatic approval without proper examination. He highlighted that just last week, the Senate approved 6 bills from the House, but emphasized that reciprocity does not mean garbage in, garbage out. The Senate leader added that each bill would be thoroughly scrutinized to reflect diverse public interests. Senator Bamidele assured both chambers that the Senate remains committed to maintaining legislative integrity by ensuring all concordant bills undergo comprehensive evaluation before passage.
Without attempting to respond to what was published in some newspapers about the Senate not working on concurrent bills of the House of Representatives, let me say for the record that we have been doing what we are supposed to do, and that only last week this Senate concurred to 6 bills from the House of Representatives. And yes, while we have the principle of chamber reciprocity, Mr. President, the principle of chamber reciprocity does not necessarily mean for us garbage in, garbage out. We will continue to consider concurrent bills sent from the House of Representatives the same way they also consider our own, and we will ensure that every bill is given attention in overriding public interest. I just wanted to say this. We are attending to those concurrent bills and will continue to do what we are supposed to do.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, also noted recent progress, confirming that 6 House bills were addressed last week. He added that at least 2 more bills are slated for consideration this week, underscoring the Senate's ongoing commitment to collaborative lawmaking.
But at least I know we are going to do 2 today, and we'll continue to do so. So please let our brothers in the House of Representatives know that we cannot joke with anything that comes from there. It takes 2 hands to clap, and we'll continue to work together. So proceed.
Mr. President, very distinguished.
This stance reaffirms the Senate's dedication to legislative diligence and partnership, ensuring every bill is assessed on its merits for the benefit of the public. In a related development, the bill for an act to enable the growth of digital economy governance in Nigeria passed 2nd reading in the Senate. The Senate has expressed strong disapproval over what it described as prolonged marginalization and lopsidedness in the recruitment practices of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, spanning more than 2 decades. During the investigative hearing on recruitment disparities in federal agencies, the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs, chaired by Senator Awa Oyeso, hosted officials from both NAFDAC and the Transmission Company of Nigeria. Senator Oyeso described the unequal regional representation within NAFDAC's workforce, accusing unnamed powerful individuals of manipulating the recruitment process. He insisted that such imbalances could not be justified in a diverse country like Nigeria. Also speaking, the Senate Minority Whip, Senator Sita Ungu Enugu West, linked the mass relocation of Nigerian medical doctors and other health professionals abroad to unemployment and persistent recruitment bias in federal agencies.
You understand? If they are open, unemployment is one of the biggest problems in Nigeria today. How can we say we don't have doctors and pharmacists when they are running out of the country? Some can't run because they don't have the means. And some are trying to run because they don't have the job. So if we are open and transparent, we will see these people. And also, if a state does not have pharmacists, they will have lawyers. So during the employment, we'll balance it because we must respect the fair character principle. Thank you.
In her response, the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, acknowledged the concerns raised but clarified that the agency had not conducted any recent recruitment. She attributed the existing imbalance to past recruitment exercises and emphasized that addressing the issue would require time.
Also affects us in NAFDAC is the fact that we are a scientific organization. Except for HRM and accounts, we are a scientific organization. Medical doctors, lawyers, veterinarians, pharmacists, and all areas of science.
What of legal?
Legal, yes.
That also goes to the what is wrong with that?
What I'm saying is, federal character will say, okay, hire 4 from this state. We get 6 from that state. But none have, and federal character also gives us hire 37 pharmacists, 28 food scientists.
Is there any state in Nigeria that doesn't have pharmacists?
Sir, I'm talking of, yes, I'm talking of, just practicality, and we look for pharmacists, for example, from that state. There was none, or there will be none for that particular recruitment exercise. So it is also affected by the professional areas that. Yes, sir.
The committee pledged to continue its oversight functions to ensure transparency, fairness, and equity in public sector recruitment as part of efforts to promote national unity and inclusiveness. Nigeria's Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has disclosed the federal government already introduced a grassroots-focused framework, Nutrition 774 initiative, aimed at addressing the nutrition crisis in underserved communities across the country. This is as he decried the impact of malnutrition on Nigerian children, stating that it robs about 40% of the children under 5 of their physical and cognitive potential. The Vice President, represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President's Office of the Vice President, Senator Ibrahim, at the National Summit on Nutrition and Food Security, organized by the House of Representatives Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, part of the House Open Week activity, noted that nutrition under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda has been repositioned as a core component of the National Development Strategy. The Vice President also confirmed, Chairman of the National Council on Nutrition, emphasized the role of the initiative in mobilizing political will, ensuring sustainable funding, enhancing collaboration across all levels of government, and promoting accountability.
The occasion that brings us here today is not celebration. It is a reminder of the burden that we bear. It is a reminder that food insecurity is not only about hunger, it is also about whether our people can afford, access, and accept the food that meets their nutritional needs. Nutrition 774 is a living strategy, one that drives political commitment, secures sustainable financing, demands accountability, and galvanizes collaboration across federal, state, and local.
In his remarks, Speaker of the House, Dr. Abbas Tajuddin, represented by the leader, Professor Julius Ihobere, warned that malnutrition is costing Nigeria approximately 12.2% of its gross national income, an estimated $56 billion annually, adding that post-harvest losses account for an additional $2 billion per year, underscoring the need for urgent reforms. He highlighted Nigeria's potential to lead in food production across the continent and noted the importance of integrating nutrition-sensitive programs into federal and state budgets. On his part, Chairman of the House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, Mr. Chike Okafor, said malnutrition-related health issues such as stunting, low birth weight, and anemia, among others, carry significant economic consequences. He stressed the need for enhanced oversight of all nutrition-related interventions by both local and international partners.
Malnutrition stands out as a human tragedy and a development challenge. Millions of our brothers and sisters, especially children and women, suffer the consequences of poor nutrition. This summit must therefore galvanize us to forge sustainable, evidence-based solutions that alleviate their suffering and secure a healthier future for all.
On the above premise, my committee is working with those in the 36 states House of Assembly of the Federation to do things differently. First of all, we are undertaking strategic capacity building sessions to have a better understanding of the root and dynamics of current nutrition and food security challenges in Nigeria.
The lawmaker added that the House Committee on Nutrition aims to ensure better utilization of funds, improve transparency, and alignment with national guidelines at all levels of government. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and Nasarawa State Government have sealed a memorandum of understanding on the establishment of the University of Public Relations and Leadership to be located in Gudi, Akwanga local government area of the state. The MOU signed in Abuja on Monday maps out a number of benefits to the host states, including at least 20 scholarship slots yearly for qualified indigents, with each of the 13 local government areas represented when the institution takes off. Holina Adojo completes the story.
Yes, of
The
course.
Memorandum of Understanding signed in Abuja on Monday maps out a number of benefits to the host state, including at least 20 scholarship slots yearly for qualified indigents, with each of the 13 local government areas represented when the institution takes off. In his remarks, Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, who handed over the conveyance of approval of grant of land for siting of the university, reiterated his commitment to ensure that necessary measures are put in place for the commencement of the academic institution. While expressing delight that Nasarawa will be the host state for the Global Standard Academic Institution, the governor assured that perimeter fencing of the property will commence immediately, which will be followed by construction of main structures.
The conveyance of approval of the land, we prepared it and came with it so that we can hand it over to. So that we are not just signing MOU, I'm handing over the land to you today. We have to continue to show commitment so that the world will understand that in Nigeria we have people who, when they commit, they live by that commitment. We must send this message, and there is no better place actually to send that message than NIPR.
Earlier in his address, the President, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliaku, who described the university as a global project, noted that it is part of the Institute's contribution towards addressing leadership gap in Africa, which he said is the bane of the continent's development.
It's only recently that we began to learn that we must train people to lead. Go to other climes. In the US, in the UK, they have institutions that are used to train leaders. Even in the royal families, in the monarchies, their young ones are trained to learn the etiquette of leadership, understand their operating environment, and know how to lead. So we are now raising a new generation of credible leaders who will eventually become the new Nigerians that will see to the enthronement of a sustainable new Nigeria.
The university, according to the MOU, will offer 50 concessionary admission slots annually for qualified candidates, sponsored by the Nasarawa State government, with representation from all the local government areas.
The NIPR president said the UPRL will serve as a hub for manpower development and capacity building for indigenes of Nasarawa and neighboring states, preparing Nigeria as a hub for equipping leaders for effective service delivery.
History has been sealed today at the Governor's Lodge
Aso Television News.
In Asokoro John Kadia Street. And
the chairman of Gwaglada Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Jibringiri, has expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike for the various road projects in the council area. Speaking during the commissioning of the new Market Radio Nigeria, Agumas Palace Road by Vice President Senator Kashim Shatima, Giri stated that the people of Gwaglada will forever be grateful for this development. Correspondent Abdullahi Mokhtar completes the story.
The commissioning ceremony was attended by hundreds of residents who welcomed the Vice President Senator Kashim Shatima, FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike and other dignitaries. Alhaji Abubakar Jibringiri, Chairman Gwagwalada Area Council, commended the current administration, noting that if previous administrations had achieved what the current one has, Gwagwalada would have been a thriving metropolis by now.
We, the people of Gwagwalada Council and the people of FCT entirely, are so happy with what they are doing to us in the inception of this administration right from 2023. In fact, we believe before the end of this year and also the end of the tenure, we will be happy with what the minister is doing and also happy with what Mr. President is doing to the people of FCT.
The Gwagwalada chairman appealed to the FCT minister to consider constructing other critical roads, such as the Gwagwalada-Izon Road, which would facilitate travel between the FCT and Niger State.
We still have a road from Iwa 2 down to Army Barrack, and also last time we came to commission project from Paiko to Iwa. We want the Minister of the City to assist us because we, the area council, don't have the capacity to do all this type of road that we're doing for us in the FCT.
Giri urged residents to maintain peace in the council area and join him in thanking the President and FCT Minister. He also encouraged the community to protect and maintain the new road projects as if they were their personal belongings.
I also want to tell the people of Gwagwalada Council to live in peace and remain calm, and also join me to appreciate Mr. President and also the Minister of FCT by conducting or by constructing these good roads for us in the South Town.
The commissioning of the new Market Radio Nigeria Agumas Palace Road is part of the 16th project commission across the FCT to mark President Tinubu's 2 years in office, which was rounded up with a Thanksgiving service last Sunday by the FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
You're watching Aso Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on a UHF band on channel 38. Do stay with us for more stories.
We were warned about this marriage. Because we did not listen, the young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi. Why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajan?
We were just talking about offering Ojigijag a seat on the council.
The gods be praised. Negodo Nselko Sisi, he has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
Many thanks for joining us again. The Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa has continued to raise concerns over Nigeria's current sugar-sweetened beverages tax, warning that easy access to such product poses a serious threat to public health. Let's join Elizabeth Kasham for more.
Expressing dissatisfaction, Executive Director of CAPA, Akimbode Oluwafemi, stated during a special media roundtable in Abuja that current 10 naira per litre SSB tax is inadequate and does not effectively influence market behavior or deliver meaningful public health outcomes.
The tax on sugary drinks, and it's not only for us in CAPA. We are recommending from the current 10 naira a litre, which is like 3 naira on your 33 CL, to 130 naira. I mean, the issue is that the president now needs to initiate the administrative processes, either through the Joint Tax Board, to ensure that this tax is increased, because in fact the 10 naira per litre was not even adjustable to inflation. So whatever that tax represents has been wiped off completely by inflation.
Professor Olukumi Olaita of the University of Ilorin, who spoke on reinforcing healthy diets in Nigeria, explains harms and health risks associated with SSB and junk foods.
Sugar will make you get fat. Studies have shown that fatty people are less brilliant, and the reason is this: because of that fat, the body is carrying certain weights. For example, if a slim person and a fat person, they are trekking a distance, there is tendency that fat person will be sweating faster and will be tired faster, because he is carrying heavy weight than a slimmer person that is carrying a very light weight. It is the same vein that will make that fat person to be tired of even going to carry his book or her book to be reading for exam. That is why they are usually less brilliant than the. So what we are trying to say in essence is that to reduce this problem, this plague in our society, SSB tax is needed, in fact, as a matter of exigency now.
An advocate from the Healthy Food Policy Vanguard, Francis Emo, has called for sustained implementation of relevant policies, emphasizing the need for long-term commitments to effectively address public health concerns.
We are hoping that the government don't just look towards implementing it also, but also executing it on a long run.
World Health Organization had last week urged Nigeria and other member states to raise taxes on alcohol and tobacco by 50% over the next decade as strategic measure to tackle the growing burden of non-communicable diseases, suggesting that effective health taxes will result in at least a 25% increase in the retail price of sugary drinks. Elizabeth Kasham, Aso Television News.
The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, has expressed fear over persistent opacity in Nigeria's financial reporting system, particularly within the oil and gas sector. He notified that the lack of transparency continues to undermine national development and public trust. The EFCC chairman, while speaking through a representative, Director of Public Affairs, Mr. Wilson Wajurin, at a national conference on public account and fiscal governance organized by the Senate and House of Representatives Public Accounts Committees in Abuja on Tuesday, said that speculative earnings, unverified transactions, and poor oversight in critical sectors such as the oil and gas, entrenched inefficiency and corruption in public finance. He highlighted several loopholes that continues to threaten Nigeria's fiscal integrity, to include non-compliance with financial regulations, approval of spending beyond official limits, diversion of public funds to private accounts, and padding of budgets to accommodate projects with no real developmental value. The Anti-Graft Agency boss also cited digital manipulation of government platforms such as the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System and the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, which have become tools for payroll fraud in some ministries, departments, and agencies. On asset recovery, the FCC boss disclosed that trillions of naira in monetary assets have so far been returned to the National Treasury, including what he described as the largest real estate asset recovery in Nigeria's history, which was the 750 duplexes seized in Abuja. He, however, despite these achievements, emphasized that the real work lies ahead, calling for the institutionalization of real-time digital budget and project tracking, public access to expenditure data, and a strengthened whistleblowing system. And on business, Vice President Kashim Shettima has solicited support of the judiciary to grow the nation's capital market through the delivery of verdicts that are well-reasoned, timely, and technically sound. Speaking in Abuja during the opening ceremony of a two-day workshop organized by the Securities and Exchange Commission for Judges, the Vice President acknowledged that such verdicts would send a strong positive signal to the market, enhancing confidence and attracting capital. Represented by the Special Advisor to the President on Economic Affairs in the Office of the Vice President, Dr. Tokpe Fasao, the VP described the capital market as a lifespan of any modern economy. With the theme, repositioning the Nigerian capital market for national economic transformation through effective dispute resolution, he said that it underscores the undeniable truth that a robust, efficient, and trustworthy capital market is the bedrock upon which sustainable national economic transformation can be built, while affirming that a well-functioning capital market can unlock latent wealth, deepen financial inclusion, and ultimately improve the economy. Senator Shatima explained that the capital market is a sophisticated ecosystem that mobilizes long-term capital for productive investment. In his remarks, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun, who was represented by Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Stephen, pointed that the capital market was no longer a distant abstraction limited to high finance or institutional investors, but has become a critical lever of economic participation and empowerment. And that's the news. But before we go, let's take another look at one of our major stories. FCT teachers resume work today as NUT suspends strike. That's the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Tina Oje Achu.